Welcome back, everyone. We're back with the final of the 2022 fourth annual Barry Hooey one-time memorial pool tournament here at the Leather Pocket in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And if you're just tuning in, we got the second set of the final. Steven won the first set to force this second set. And you're listening to myself, Ben Francis, alongside Ryan Murray.
Yeah, here we go again.
Here we go. This is the last final set of the tournament here. And Steven played a pretty unreal first set there, no?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And two things after that match that I want to point out. Stan was the first one clapping, which just class move, you know, and he's always been like that.
Absolutely.
And we were talking about what a great ambassador of the game he is. And people should take note of that stuff, you know? Nobody likes losing. And you know he hated it.
Absolutely.
But he wasn't shy to show that he appreciates how good his opponent played, right?
Yeah, no.
The other thing was, he said, he breaks so good. His break, he said. His break.
And his break is monster on the bar box, as you just saw. He made 2 or 3 balls.
Well, he's hitting second ball over here, right? He was hitting second ball against Joe. So it's kind of contrasting. He's over on the 9-foot smashing it, you know, at 30 miles an hour. And then he comes over here and hits 15 miles an hour.
Yep.
Second ball.
Seems to have found the sweet spot on this table, though. Mm-hmm. And it's perfect where he's on the 9. He's just going to drop and solve that 11-3 problem right now. So, yeah, and he did it perfectly.
Yeah, he's looking in real good shape to put the first rack on the board here. All it took was one good little breakout shot, and suddenly it's all there for him. And we are following along with the Facebook and the YouTube chat, guys, so make sure you're commenting along, engaging, and we'll be answering any questions you might have. And also, of course, make sure you guys are sharing that stream lots for us. Click the thumbs up on the YouTube. Goes a long way. All we ask for these free streams. He's looking perfect on this 12. We'll see if he draws all the way back to the side rail. Back out. I think something caught his attention there. I hope it wasn't me.
Yeah, he kind of stood back up off it there.
Yeah, I hope he didn't hear me. I'm going to try to do my best golf commentary through this match because Steven has been known to hear my voice.
Yeah, and we're sitting so close to the players, too. We turn the mics up and try to be as quiet as we can. But
that's right. But we can only be so quiet.
Absolutely.
I think over the years he's really learned to not let those things get to him. He just refocuses and goes back to work. I mean, pool's full of distractions, right? It's probably the hardest thing about the game.
Yes, indeed.
Marvin wants to know if we're coming to Nanaimo this year. We are not, but there are some folks from here that will be there. I know Russ Whittle for sure. So one ball in the 8 to carry on right where he left off the last set. This is only a race to 6 over here, so this could be quick.
Yeah, and he's absolutely perfect on that 8 ball.
As we sort of mentioned in the last match, this is very much a coin flip on the bar box against these two players. But it's always nice to start it off with a break and run. And not just a break and run, but it wasn't like it was wide open tic-tac-toe. He had to develop a ball and play precise shape a couple times. So he's got to be feeling good about that.
Yeah, I think this one's going to go. Whoever makes the first big mistake is
probably going to lose.
Yeah, he's hoisting the second trophy.
As you can see here, we got the trophies in the background, like Ryan was saying. Larry Walper, big shout out to him for doing a ton of work to organize this tournament, and he bought these trophies out of his own pocket.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to a lot of tournaments, and this one is just run as smooth as a tournament could possibly go.
Absolutely, and we're kind of finishing pretty early for a Sunday night, having
Right.
64 players in the tournament, right?
Especially with the big races to 9 on the 9-foots.
So also a big shout out to Stephanie Toy for just doing the best job ever, like she always does.
She runs a tight ship.
Perfectly run brackets, everything very timely, and the players love her. So Stan watches Steven break second ball and thinks, well, I can do that too, but
He is come up dry.
that alone could be the decider.
Yeah, and the high ball are not tough here, so he's only got the 11 and 5 to navigate. And there is more than enough space between the 7 and 8 ball to cut that 8 ball down the rail, so he doesn't even have to move that.
Yeah, he's got to be playing high ball here, and I think the 11 actually goes into the lower left, kind of how we're looking at it here on the screen.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like from my vantage point, the 5 might be just a hair ahead of the 11. So we'll know in a minute if he moves it.
That's right.
It may go in the bottom left. I'm not sure. It certainly won't go to the breaking end of the table, that's for sure.
Okay, so he's punching over, trying to land on the 14, but he hasn't done so. He'll be the 13 first, which isn't too bad. He'd rather be on the 14 here and be developing that problem early.
Yeah, or maybe it's hard to tell. It must, if he's not going anywhere near that, you might be right, Ben. It must go down in the bottom left-hand side here.
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah.
I really do think it goes in the lower left corner.
And that would be ideal because from the 10 to that 11, then he just rolls up for the 8.
Oh, and he could see the 14 there. Okay, and that tells me that the 11 didn't go.
Yep.
I've watched Steven play a ton of this game, and he really does not move balls that he doesn't have to. So he would have tried to land underneath that if it went. I'm fairly certain. I'm so glad somebody finally asked this question, Arnold, in the Facebook. And John Bannon answered it. Who is the defending champion of this tournament? I did not defend it well, but it was me, yep. It was. So I think the 11 is going to lead him nicely to the 10, and he'll probably do that last. I mean, the 10 to the 8 is not ideal.
He may, in order to cut that 11 ball down to the corner, he may have to move that 4. I don't know if there's enough space between the 11 and 8 if he's straighter on that ball.
I got a good line. He's actually on it right now.
Oh, okay.
If he wanted to shoot it right now.
I think he has to take it then.
It's hard to find the window again.
Yeah.
Right? But he's got a pretty precise cue ball, so I wouldn't be surprised if he shoots something else and finds that window again. It's kind of hard to get the correct angle on the 10 to not be like crashing into the 3, trying to get back up table for the 9 or the 13.
Right,
so.
and the last thing he wants to do is push that 8 ball up onto the 7. So, he navigated that beautifully.
Well, and now he's going to use the 9 to get on the 10, and the 10 to the 8 is not that easy.
No.
If the 8 went by the 7, which it doesn't, but if it did, then the 10 to the 8 isn't so bad, but...
Yeah, I mean, where do you go from the 10? You either hitting the 3 or the 6.
Yeah, the 5-4 is big. Even if he did get perfect angle on the 10, the 5-4 is still going to be in play. So
maybe he's going to draw back off the 13 here and solve that 10 right now. So he's got the 9 ball. as his out ball.
Does he have that angle?
Yes,
Oh, he
certainly did.
Oh, but he doesn't want to be on the rail here. And he's going to be.
Wow.
I don't know if he can go forward, missing the 3, kind of off 2 rails between the 6-2. That window.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to play. It looks like he might have enough. He was hoping to be able to just draw straight back off that 10 ball, though.
Absolutely.
I think Ben called it right here, so.
Just taking his time. You can tell by these subtle little moves, like getting up off the ball in the previous rack and then coming over to wipe down his cue. That tells me he's feeling it.
Yeah, and he had a guy kind of walk right past the table here, which took his attention away, so he'll just reset.
You can certainly tell he's feeling it, and he really wants this one. And he knows that if he plays mistake-free from here, Stan can't win. So
right,
it is in his hands.
And he negotiated that gap perfectly, and he's got ideal angle just to either come 2 rails out or draw into that long rail and pop it out, whatever he prefers.
I think we'll see him go forward, but it's kind of hard to tell how much angle he has. And yeah, like Arnold Siffel asking in the Facebook chat, what's the meaning of the one time? And Bryce said it. It was kind of Barry's catchphrase. And what's up, John Graves in the YouTube chat, and everybody else tuning in? Appreciate you all. If you can do me a big favor, click that share button, click the thumbs up on the YouTube. These guys are going to put on a show for us here in the final set.
Yeah, I like that shot. He just slow dragged over to that side.
You know what? I really like that too, because distance isn't a factor here.
Right.
He didn't need to get closer to the ball, right?
Angle was everything here.
Yeah, just make sure he could see the 8, and it didn't matter how far away he was.
And he is perfect.
Look out. I thought he let that one get away a little bit.
I think he did for a second there,
Yeah,
too.
he took a little hop step.
Yeah, a little stutter in his giddy up there.
It's another cool thing they got for the first time this year is the Hooey Cup, which both these gentlemen will have their name put on. I think this is a super cool little touch to the tournament. And all stuff like that, Hooey would definitely love. There's the man himself. Steven breaking, leading 2-0, only needing 4 more games to win this tournament. For the second time, it should be noted.
And trust me, the win and the trophy means a lot more to Steven than any of the prize money does.
Oh, absolutely. And it should be noted that it definitely means more to him than it does to Stan. This is one tournament that I know these guys definitely wake up for.
Yeah, he'd like to see his name on that trophy many, many more times.
Just noticed my scoreboard says A-side final round 2.
Oh, yep.
I'm surprised none of our keyboard warriors picked up on that right away.
Yeah, he's made a couple of balls here off the break, but he's kind of locked up behind the cluster that all came back together in the middle of the table here.
So what does he see? He sees the 14, and then the 10 develops the cluster, right?
I think so. He's definitely got the gap between the 13 and 1, so.
Or the 9 could develop the cluster as well. Oh, he tries to go into some of them right away.
Fearless.
That was completely fearless with how tough that pot was between a little window between the 113 there.
Yep. And yeah, he's certainly going to leave himself a shot here to come off the back rail and into that pack, which I don't know. It's kind of scary for me, but I can't hit the ball with as much power and control as Steven does.
Nor can many players. That is a very short list.
Because he really does. He has to cut this and he has to thump this in order to make sure that the cue ball doesn't stick on any of that.
You know what else he needs to watch here? Where the 8's going.
Yeah.
He needs to watch where the 8's going here. Funny things happen when you're moving a lot of balls. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a sporty little shot there.
That's pretty good considering where he was. The other nice thing about that is he only broke out his ball.
Yeah, he left stands in a mess.
Yeah, as Shirley's saying there on the Facebook chat, it was Joe, runner-up last year. Definitely was a pleasure playing him in the final.
Stephen will take this 13 ball and come 2 rails to make sure he's got a good line on the 9 ball. And just has to be careful bridging over this pack because we are playing impeding ball foul as well as cue ball foul.
I think this angle is a little deceiving too. I think he's closer to straight than it looks. And he could actually just stun this one.
Just stun this, yeah.
I think so. I think. These camera angles and even the angle that we're sitting on watching outside of the camera is still deceiving compared to when you're down on the ball.
Yeah, and he's taking some extra care here not to touch anything.
This is tricky. This is where pool is a very difficult game because there's a lot of awkward spots like this. That from the outside looking in, it doesn't look difficult, but it's very awkward. And it makes it easy to lose the cue ball. That was funny.
Just over-exaggerating that hand pull out there to make sure everyone knows he didn't touch anything.
He was very careful there. Yeah. That was good. He's an entertainer too.
Yeah, he is.
So I think he has to slow roll this one. I don't think you risk coming back and forth, but he's looking at going to the other side of the ball. Actually, I kind of like that.
Yeah, because then it leaves him a better path to come back for the 8 ball.
Exactly. Almost no traffic. As long as he can see this next ball, should be fine.
Looks like he's just going to try to kill it. Yeah, perfect.
Needs a little bounce here. And he didn't really get one.
No, but I think he's okay. He's not too steep on that 12 ball. But he does have to play this with some spin, and when you're coming off the rail, that's...
I don't think you can risk left spin here. I think you can only play this with right, or you elevate a little and kind of stun it.
Yeah, I would agree.
He needs to stay on the right-hand side of the table. The inside spin is just too hard to judge here when you're on the rail.
You play a high ball and just kind of throw the cue ball around the pack.
Just like that. Yeah. Nice little shot there.
I mean, it looked easy. You made it look easy, but that was not an easy shot.
Arnold on the Facebook saying he can hear us both talking at the same time. Strange. Sometimes there's little glitches, and if you just close the program, reopen it, it'll be usually better.
They cut that in, no problem at all.
Super out from where those balls laid after he broke. It looked like complete disaster of a table.
Stephen is looking unstoppable.
So here's the payouts for this event, as well as there were bounties on each of Hooey's teammates. So they've all been collected except one. And Steven's looking at earning that extra 25 bucks on top of his 1,500.
Yeah, the only one left is this 7-foot match. I mean,
his B-side Steven, yeah. And of course, a big shout out to one of our great sponsors here, Mike Burton Home Team, Remax Realty Pros. Check out his website. Great guy, big supporter of Alberta Pool. Make sure you show him some love.
Yeah, don't just buy a house, invest in a home. Stan's going to look to get on the board here.
Needs a big one.
Yeah.
Can't afford to come up dry again or the match is almost over. He knows it. Okay, so he made the ball on the side.
And it looks tasty.
Yeah, this is a good look for when you really need to win a game. But as I noted before, this tournament is now completely in Steven's hands.
Yeah.
He will decide how this finishes. He just needs to hold serve.
Yep. Yeah, if he holds serve, he cannot be beaten.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if the 2 ball will pass the 11 ball into that corner as we look in from this angle.
And that was the first thing I was trying to eyeball too, but if it doesn't, Stan can probably develop it pretty easy. He's got balls around it.
Yeah, and it will pass the 1 into the side. So if he elected to play the 5 ball and just kind of roll down onto the 11, the 2 would go on the side. So
Okay, I think it went where the 6 was.
yeah, he's going to play that right now, I think.
I think he almost has to play the 1 first. I think he's... Oh, he might be able to cheat the pocket a touch to hold the cue ball there, but I think he plays the 1 first.
Yeah, he's a little straighter than he wanted to be.
He'd rather be on the other side of the 5 for sure.
Absolutely.
And this is no problem. The 2, 4, 8 is a good end pattern as well, so... Assuming the 8 passes the 15, I think it does, into the upper right.
I believe it does. And I believe that the 2 ball passes it here, so...
Patrick in the Facebook, thank you for the nice comment and thanks for tuning in. Glad you're enjoying it. Ryan and I do our best to drop a little knowledge while we're steadily heckling the players. Gotta throw in the heckle, right?
Yeah, we enjoy doing this for you guys. Okay, he had to pop the 14 ball out of the way there. He was had a little bit of an angle on the 2 he didn't like, but
It seems like this is just coming up over and over again, but impeding ball again.
Yep.
Cannot move that 11. And I don't think he will anyway. But it does.
Oh, he's popped that wide.
It adds difficulty
Absolutely.
to the shot. Not just being elevated, of course, adds difficulty, but now taking your eye off the ball, a little too worried about touching that 11. Beginning of the end, I would have to think.
I think so as well.
And usually...
And if he's not bridged over that ball, he never misses that.
No, not in a million years. But he's human, so those awkward little positions, he will make mistakes like anyone.
Yeah, and Steven has a ball that he still has to negotiate here. That 14 does not pass the 4 into the corner.
The 9 and the 13 are both in great spots to develop it. Even the 12 ball is actually in a pretty nice spot if you wanted to use that to 100%. Go into it. And I actually don't mind that because then you're on the 13 when you nudge it.
Yeah, I would agree. But knowing Steven, he is going to fire right here. And
looks like he's going to shape the 13 and then draw into it. Which I gotta say, I'm not the hugest fan of just because you can get stuck here a little bit, or you could push the 14 onto a weird spot.
Yeah, he may not, with this angle, he may not go at it at all. I think he may opt your shot and come back off the 12.
Look, he's loading it up.
Yeah, he is loading it up. But, yeah, he was high.
I think if he's going to use the 12, he had to do it while the 13 was there.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to now, or there's a million safeties here.
Yeah, I thought he was too flat on that 13 to draw back into it. So
he did just land with a touch too much angle to draw into it. So I like this. He can kind of nudge the 12 up table, try to freeze this up on the 8. You do want to get this as tight to the 8 as you can, or underneath the 15 is good too.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely perfect.
And the reason he went under that is the kick is even harder, but you got to be careful because Stan will punish you sometimes, right?
Yeah.
The other nice thing is he nudged the 15 over to cover the pocket where the 8 goes if Stan somehow comes with a wizard kick here.
Well, anybody that was watching the 9-foot match saw the Stan. I don't think he missed one kick at a ball that he was playing either against Steven or Joe.
Kicked everything like a mule.
Yeah, and fat in the face too, like exactly where he wanted to hit it.
Always on the correct side of the ball and always at the correct speed. His speed just blew me away on a couple of those shots he hit so perfect. It was unhuman, robotic like. I've seen Stan shoot like a robot enough times to wonder if he is human. Should cut him, see if he bleeds. Well, he is in a pretty tough spot here. He has to go one rail and try to kick at this 4 and cut it in, and then he's going to have to bank the 8 if he somehow makes this kick.
He's not, I don't think he's worried so much about hitting the 4. He's looking at where on the 4 he wants to hit it.
He knows he's got to make it.
Yeah,
Hitting it won't do him any good.
No, exactly.
Unless he puts it right over the hole. But even then, the 8 is in jail, so there's going to be a million more safeties for Steven. Look how close he gets, though. Look how close he gets. That is like,
wow.
It's just exceptional how well he kicks the ball.
And he has married that 4 ball to the 12 ball.
He's made this a little awkward. If I'm Steven, I'm definitely not doing anything with the 15 yet.
Don't.
I'm going to leave that ball there. I see maybe...
Would we see him actually go rail first onto the 15 and just park it behind the 8?
Yeah. How about just go in behind
it?
Kick in behind it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to move it too far. You do want to keep control of that pocket, which he didn't. But I don't think Stan really has anything from here, right?
He has to jump this, I'm thinking.
And even then, can you pot it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, right?
But the hit is so tough with the 12 ball sticking its big nose out there.
Not in love with this shot. He's going to call a ref. So Grant's going to take a look at the shot. Mr. Zemp going to take a look, close look, because Stan is getting out the short cue to jump at this one.
Yeah, he's just looking to make a hit here, but he has to be careful. If that cue ball is bouncing around, it may end up in the corner pocket.
This is, you know what, I really wouldn't want to be Grant here. Because this could be a tough call to make.
You wouldn't want anyone else looking, though. Grant is very unbiased.
Oh,
He'll
100%.
just call it.
And he's done this for years, so he's very experienced. It's a foul for sure, yeah. Stan knew it anyway. There's no way it reacts like that.
No. Stan says it was pretty close.
He's laughing.
And he's not wrong about that. That was a millimeter or two from being real good.
That's a great shot in a league game because you got the extra ball. You get an extra point, even though you fouled.
Right. Yeah, I don't think you'll take that as any sort of constellation tonight, but...
Nope. So it looks like Steven couldn't hold it. He's ran to the washroom. So we give a shout out to another one of our great sponsors here over the years, Nick's Q Innovation. He actually played the event too, which is, I always love watching Nick play, so it was nice to see him out. And Ryan and I were mentioning on an earlier stream, he actually came the night of the tournament, grabbed like 6 different shafts, ran back to his shop, changed all the tips, came flying back in here.
Yeah, I mean, it's
sacrificed like his own practice time
Yeah.
to make sure everybody was taken care of, right?
And he is the only Q guy I've ever seen that makes a point of coming down to the hall a couple times a week. You can leave your equipment here with your name on it and instructions, and it is done to the letter, and he brings it back down here for you.
There's been times when I said, hey, Nick, can you do a tip for me today? And he said, yeah, sure, just leave it at leather pocket. So I leave it here in the afternoon, and then he calls me at night, and he says it's done and it's at leather pocket. He did it the same day.
Right.
And brought it back. I'm like, well, you didn't have to do that. You could have came back the next day. Like, it's not like he lives 5 minutes away from the pool.
No, exactly. He's about 40 minutes from here. But
He's a bit of a jaunt, yeah.
I'll tell you right now, and I've been saying it for years, is that customer service over the years has been lost. But you will never experience that with Nick.
No, and he always blows me away. And his pricing.
Yeah.
I've always said the pricing. Because he always asks me, hey, what should I charge for this? And one time I was like, I think you should charge $500. And he's like, I don't need to make that much.
Yeah.
I said, no, that's what it's worth, right? It's really good stuff. It's high quality. That's what you should charge. And he goes, no.
Yeah, he just
I'll charge $350. He says.
He just loves what he does. So anyway, it looks like Stephen Holm is going to rack up another one here.
And breaking next.
Just draw straight back like that.
And he hasn't made a mistake yet. So breaking next to put himself on the hill is, you could put him somewhere around 80%.
Yeah.
To get out of the next rack and be on the hill.
100%.
Stan will be aware of that. Stan knows he's in huge trouble right now. He's already eyeballing that second place trophy over there. I can see him doing it.
And second place in this field is, it's better than first place in a lot of tournaments.
Oh, absolutely. 100% correct. This has always been one of the tougher ones because we get some legends of the game coming out.
And it just seems like it gets tougher every year.
Well, and these guys fight so hard to try to win it for him.
Yeah,
Steven, Joe, Eric, myself, they just want it bad, right? And there's something to say about the guy who wants it more usually wins.
Yeah, he's just going to pop this 8-ball and
4-0. Would anyone have predicted this?
not even a little bit.
Not even a little, especially not bar box 8-ball.
We actually thought after he handed Mr. Yee a donut, he almost did it to Joe afterwards. And it looks like he may handle could hand Stan a donut as well.
Well, that would be something else. Stan's not been baggled too many times in finals.
I'm telling you, man.
Not too many.
I mean, he's still got a couple breaks in him, but
Of these, our fan, we always have the best fans on here too. They're always super, super nice, thanking us for the good commentary and stuff. But it's like Edward's comment there: the worst commentators trying to guess the entire pattern on a couple 400 Fargos, and it happens sometimes. I get a little carried away.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this ball, that ball, break out this ball, break out that ball, bank the 8, and it's like, well, this guy might not make the first 2 shots,
Right.
So.
And then Roy chimes in and he says, I feel like Stephen Holm hasn't missed or made a mistake since lunchtime.
That is about right.
That's about right for sure.
Well, there's one dry break. He's got a couple of balls hanging, so he looks to have hit it a lot better than his last break where he had everything clustered up. But he would trade that for this one any day of the week. Because this could just be a little sniff of life for Stan here.
Yeah, because he would be coming back breaking.
He will definitely need to compound it with his break next, and that still only gets it to 4-2. With Steven breaking again to get on the hill. Like, he needs to fade a couple more of those breaks still, but
100%.
But this is a start.
But yeah, first things first. Let's get out here.
That's right, and this is not easy.
Yeah,
I mean, at first glance, low ball looks okay, but that 4 is just in a nightmare spot,
it is
right?
ugly. I think that's honestly every pool player's nightmare where that 4-ball is laid up.
It really is, right? That's like, anytime you see a ball in that spot, you're already thinking, man, I'm going to wake up sweating thinking about this ball later on tonight. So he's going to move it. Watch this.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, he's drawing into it. Oh, and he missed the pot.
Oh, he forgot to make the ball.
And that's the second mistake that we've seen Stan make on an open shot.
I'm pretty sure that's the end of Stan. right there. Unfortunately, I don't like to predict that, but Steven doesn't have a ton of work to do here. It's pretty open.
And hello, Donna Owers in the Facebook chat. Comment in the YouTube wants to know if we have Holem's last name spelled correctly. We do. That's a common misconception that I didn't even know about until a couple of years ago. It is indeed two names.
Yeah. It's not Holem, it's Holem.
That's right. So he's looking actually pretty good here to get himself on the hill. I think the 12 goes by the 6.
It's a pretty common Swedish name.
Holem. Very. Yeah, when we went to Austria, they definitely knew he wasn't from there.
Looks like he's taking care of that 12 ball. And he did so perfectly. So he even managed to kick the 8 ball up into a better open spot. So
thanks, Edward and Joshua Emperado, who played in the tournament as well. Joshua, shout out for winning 3 games against Stan.
Yeah,
That's really good for somebody's first big tournament and a fairly beginner player. I thought that was great.
Yeah,
Because some players did not win 3 games against Stan in this tournament.
that's for sure.
And he's definitely crushed a lot of players. And Alvin, Shirley, thank you for the nice comment there. And yeah, as they're saying in the YouTube, they're not sure of the exact year, but Stan was the 8-ball national champ 8 or 9 years ago. Yeah,
Yep.
He's multiple-time national 8-ball champion. I know U.S. bar table champion. He's kind of won it all on these tables.
Yeah, Stan walks into a building down in the U.S. and he's known there too. So.
Oh, very much so. There's a handful of players when I travel that people always ask about, and he's always one of them.
And Stan is definitely one of them.
How's Stan doing? How's Stan doing?
Yeah.
And Edwin. Have you seen Edwin? How's Edwin doing? Edwin is a poker player, no longer a pool player. And actually, I had a funny question from the room owner here when we were watching the first set of the final, and he said, "What does Stan do for a living?" I said, "You're watching it."
Yeah.
He said, "Professional pool player?" I said, "Yeah, he's done well.
Yeah.
He's done well."
Yeah, I think Stan's retired now and just focuses on, putting foot to butt.
That's right. Speaking of foot to butt,
Yeah.
Stephen Holem off to a quick 5-0 lead here. One more rack to go.
Is feeling good as Midas is. He is. I'll guarantee you, if you ask Steven before this match took place on the 7-foot that he'd be leading 5-0, he'd call you crazy.
Oh, yeah. He'd say, "Do you want to bet?"
Yeah.
Like, "I'll give you 10-1 on the money."
Yeah.
Because Stan will run out eventually, right?
It's just unbelievable how this game unfolds sometimes.
So if you guys are looking for more pool to watch after this, the Puerto Rico Open starting on Wednesday, looks like, Tuesday. You can catch that on World Billiard TV on YouTube. That's Predator's channel. They're going to have the Puerto Rico Open as well as the World 8-Ball Championships, which will start on the 19th. Stephen Holem will be flying out from Calgary on the 18th to head on over there.
And Stan rattled 3 balls there and still came up dry.
This could be it. This could be it. That might be Stan's last shot of this tournament.
What was Predator's channel again for anyone that didn't catch that?
World Billiard TV on YouTube. Quite the channel, actually. They partnered with Kazoom, and Kazoom is like always live. It's a 24/7
Right.
Reloop channel.
That's right, yeah.
And it's awesome. I turn it on like sometimes in the morning. I'm just like watching Three Cushion or like, 2018 World 9 Ball or like just all different stuff all the time. I love it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I love this question from Chris. Is the Puerto Rico Open in Ohio? How did you know, Chris? How did you guess?
Oh, would you look at that? He's so confident that he's actually played a safety with every ball on the table.
Oh, my
after
goodness.
potting one. He's just wedged it in there like a sandwich.
It's almost like, okay, this is kind of boring. I could run out again, but maybe the little safety exchange will be entertaining. And if it goes wrong, I'll just break and run out.
Yeah.
And Joshua says he's real happy with how he played against Stan, being a 4.53 Fargo, and he says, shout out Uncle Stan. Everybody calls him Uncle Stan. I love that.
Yeah, nicely done, sir.
Buck wants to know who collected the bounties. A whole lot of people. There were a lot of them. 12.
Yeah, we know Eric got
11
a couple.
of them.
Stan got a
have
couple.
gone. Yeah.
Joe Spence got a couple.
Joe got a couple. Eric got a couple. Eric got one for me and Cass.
Steven collected one as well, or two.
Yeah, Steven collected a couple, yeah.
Yeah. They've all been collected except Steven's 7-foot bounty, which
That's
he is
right.
going to throw in his own pocket, I think, here in the next couple of minutes.
And Blaine wants to know if the 8-ball in Puerto Rico is on a bar box or a 9-footer. It's going to be on a 9-footer.
Yeah, it's 9-foot pool. Yeah, it should be a very, very good venue. A lot of top players in that one as well. I think there's, 100 grand up for grabs, 150 grand up for grabs in that one too.
200 in the Puerto Rico Open.
Yeah, I think it's...
Yeah, what does it say on this poster? 100,000 in the Open.
There you go.
And 75 in the women's. And they've really been doing great things to keep the women's game growing as well. So it's been nice to see.
Yeah, Predator has been talking about plans to grow the women's events as well. So good on them.
Absolutely. The prize money is almost equal. It's actually bigger because there's only 64 ladies at 75K and there's 128 men at 100K. So they're getting paid more per player.
And I enjoy watching the women play as well as the men. I mean,
I often learn more.
You can't get better than sitting there watching, Kelly and Allison Fisher go at it, and now these youngsters coming up like Veronica and
Savannah Easton,
Savannah
the Road
Easton.
Runner, yeah.
And I mean, Pia Filler has become a monster in her own right.
Oh yeah, I was watching in Austria, and one of the Predator team, he said, you know what the greatest thing about Pia is, because she just beat Jasmine. And I said, oh, that was a great match from her. And she goes, yeah, and she's obviously not the favorite, but she said, you want to know the best thing? She's getting better still.
Yeah, right.
And he was kind of hinting that some of the other players are kind of past their prime.
Yeah, and
right?
at their cap, yeah.
There's room for Pia to sneak right in there. And he also said, doesn't hurt that she's got a pretty good coach.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about that. I'll tell you one thing, though. Jasmine Ocean has been one of my favorite women players. I don't know if there's a more dedicated player to the sport.
Yeah, very much so.
She gets up every morning and runs a marathon, and she's constantly working on her body and her game and her mind.
Yeah.
She really is a top female player.
Yeah, and she works with juniors, and she's overall a good professional. How's the rub? It's not perfect, but it could work.
Yeah, I think he can just wedge this 6 past the 4 into the side, or even play. Yeah, he's got lots of room there. I'm not sure the combo goes past the 14.
No, it definitely doesn't, looking at the screen. So the 8-ball is kind of the key here, too. What does he do with the 8?
Yeah, I'm not sure it goes anywhere.
And a question from John Bannon there. Who's supplying the tables in Puerto Rico? They're going to be Predator tables. And Joshua wants to know they have a big bar box tournament, not at the pro level. They do have amateur tournaments that run alongside their pro events that are played on a bar box, but We won't see, I don't think we'll see Predator doing a big pro event on the box anytime soon.
No, I think really the only real big one left is the U.S. Open 10-ball bar box, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hamza says, go Holem, but Joe Spence for president. And yeah, Edward, you're right about that. Jasmine, very good commentator too. Her brother is quite good at commentary as well, I find. Albin knows how to talk his way through Iraq.
Yeah. A lot of people misconstrue Albin Ocean for being snobbish or, but he is, when he's at the table, it's just all business. But he's a different guy away from the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you will not see one emotion out of Albin at the table other than
anger,
killer mode.
Oh, and anger.
And anger,
and
yeah.
Pure rage. So he's eyeing up the in-off here. And he really needs to be careful how far the 4 pushes down there.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to do a little bit too much there.
I agree. He didn't have a whole lot of options. He kind of landed in a pretty funny spot. Yeah. But it should be noted, a bit of a free shot, no?
Yeah,
he's breaking next.
Yeah, he is breaking next.
And he's got a couple more breaks after that to close it out even, right? So he's going to have a few chances.
Yeah, and Stan has to deal with a tied up 13-8 and tied up, by the looks of the 10-14 might be tied up as well. So
the 11 down there isn't really available either, so.
Yeah.
Okay, breaking out 13.
Take care of one of those problems right now.
So 15, 13 should get straight on the 13. He should be able to roll forward to play onto the 10 or the 14.
Yeah, I do believe if he gets top side of the 10 does go.
So it should be the 15 here, unless he sees something else. What's he looking at here?
Do you think he's looking to play onto the 6? And
what? He's playing the bank. This is shocking. This is very shocking.
I'm not sure.
So that kind of tells me he must have been dead straight in on the 15.
Yeah.
Like to the point where he couldn't do anything with it. But what a great shot.
Yeah.
Fearless.
Yeah. A couple of strokes. And
I think what he did there too was he put the cue ball intentionally under the 4, knowing that if he missed the bank, he wasn't really leaving a lot either, right?
Yeah, no, it was a smart two-way.
But he was never missing the bank the way he shot it.
Apparently not.
Like hard the whole way. I think after this rack, I'm going to run to the washroom, so I'll get Grant to jump in. That was a curious little shot, no?
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't try to bring that back further, but
do more with it, yeah.
He likes the angle he's got here, just a fall on the 8.
Yeah, I guess he just likes the angle so much he didn't care about the distance, right? Yeah, but I thought because he's made a couple of mistakes, he'd be fighting to get a little closer to the ball.
I think so, yeah.
Nonetheless.
All right.
I was not going to say too much there.
No bagel for Taranjo.
No bagel.
He is on the board. But
and another big shout out to Leather Pocket for hosting us here. Much appreciated. Beautiful tables, beautiful pool room. We are super spoiled.
We are indeed.
And also for adding $1,000 to prize money, Leather Pocket. Make sure you come check them out if you're ever in the area.
And it's Stephen Holm to break, and the way that this young man's been playing today, I wouldn't bet against him that this is it. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, he went back to that second ball break, and he's hit it absolutely perfect. He's made 3 balls, and he has a very clear table, even though it may look a little bit congested. Nothing's really tied up. The 14 goes. The 1 ball looks like it passes into the side. The 2 will pass the 4 into the corner. Yeah, this is... I think this one's over, folks. I think he's going to start with the 13 ball. Play that up into the corner here. And he's just going to drop back down for either the 10 or 15. I'm not sure how much he's digging into this. Sorry, I just adjusted on my chair, and that was enough to have Steven stand up, so I'm going to be absolutely still here. And he played that perfectly. He's dropped onto either ball. Punch the 10 ball up, or punch off the 10 ball up, I should say, and take the 15 or the 11 next. I'm not sure if he's saving his 15 or the 14 ball for his out ball, but
interesting little position.
He had perfect angle there to take the 14 ball next.
14 rub into the 1.
Yeah, or I think he can just draw straight back too, or whatever he's feeling.
If he's got the angle to roll up and push the 1 out of the way, 13 into the corner or 11 into the corner.
Yeah, and that frees up that pocket for the 8 ball too.
Just like that.
Yeah. What a tournament this young man has had today.
Isn't that true? Clinic on the bar box.
Yeah, he's only allowed 3 or 4 racks against him in his last 4 matches.
Unreal. Stands up.
He's a gentleman of the sport. There's a big hug. What a tournament, folks. And there's your champion. Stephen Holm gets his name on the trophy for a 2nd time.
What a match. What a match. What a finish. We're going to do the trophy presentation. So before we shut down, we'll make sure that we get that all covered.
Absolutely. It just has to be mentioned again that Stan is approaching his 70th birthday.
Yeah,
and
67 years young.
He has the stamina of a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
What a showing by Stan Taranjo. And believe me, it could have gone either way on the 9-foot before this if you missed that.
Oh,
folks.
absolutely, it could have.
It was back and forth
Yep.
to 6-6.
Yep.
So he has, he has just played unbelievable pool this weekend.
I would completely agree. And, what an event for one of Barry's team members to be able to finish it off this weekend. And what a great weekend of pool. Ryan, you've been amazing. We appreciate you sitting in.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been a ton of fun.
Welcome to our addiction, sir.
Mic crack.
Right? It's so true.
Look at the smile on Steven's face. I mean,
of course, proud moment for him, right? And we'll
the corners of his mouth is touching both ears.
And before we jump into the trophy presentation, this is what this weekend was all about. The man, the myth, and the legend himself, Mr. Barry Hooey, also known as Captain Calgary. What a character, what an energy, what a presence he had on the Calgary pool scene. Phenomenal job. And of course, huge and massive shout out to the Leather Pocket. Yeah, phenomenal hosts. Staff have been great. It's been a pretty amazing weekend. And of course, we do have the World 8-Ball Championships starting up November 19th to the 22nd in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Make sure you get on to Facebook, search Billiard TV. You'll be able to catch all that action as well as the Puerto Rico Open for the Predator Pro Series happening November 15th to 19th. Again, broadcast through Billiard TV.
Yeah, and we're going to be watching for Stephen Holm to put in a showing at the World 8-Ball Championships. I mean, this young man can play this game.
Oh, can he ever? He will be there. And of course, one last run through the sponsors here with Q Sports Live, the Mike Burton Home Team, Remax Realty Professionals. Make sure you hit them up if you're looking to buy or sell. MikeBurton.ca. Huge shout out to Jam Up Apparel. Get on over jamupapparel.com. Get yourself some pool swag. And last but certainly not least, the man with the plan, Nick's Q Innovations, based in Calgary. If you need any Q repair work done, make sure you hit them up. And that wraps us up for the Barry Hooey Memorial Tournament. Congratulations to Stephen Holm. Stan putting up a battle on the 9-foot table. And there is Steph putting out the Hooey one-time jersey. That jersey travels along with the team down to Vegas each and every year. 4-time Vegas Master Champion team.
Unreal. And thanks to all of you guys out there for tuning in with us all weekend. And
yeah, absolutely.
Love the comments. Keep them coming. And
you bet. And a big shout out to Larry Walper. He organized this event. The trophies were out of his own pocket. And of course, Steph Toy, tournament director, making sure everything ran smoothly and on time.
Yeah, she does. She just runs the tightest ship you ever seen. And she don't play.
Yeah. Every now and again she'll pick up a cue, but not very often.
Yeah. And she doesn't play when it comes to being tardy either.
No.
She enforces the 5, 10,
She
15
sure does.
So.
Jam Up is in the U.S., right? It is indeed. We now ship worldwide with Jam Up apparel.
There's Stephen holding up his first place prize money, his first place trophy.
And good on him.
And just about to get his face in with the cup here, because that's what it's really all about for him.
Of course. Amazing. Such a great weekend of pool.
It looked like when he was looking down at the trophy, he was getting a little emotional
Yeah,
there.
of course.
Yeah.
This is a big deal for Barry's team.
Yeah. And the problem is it's going to be tough for any of us to ever take it from them.
Of course. Well, maybe when they're 80, we might have a fighter's chance.
Yeah, I'm bringing a shotgun next year. That way
Right?
I can
I'm
play
just
for the
going to
top 10.
kneecap somebody the next time I play him with my pool cue.
It's so nice to see that. He's on cloud 9 right now. And,
He sure is.
Stan's going to join him, because Stan will be joining him on the trophy.
Of course.
So,
job well done. 67 years young, and I could only wish to be in as good a shape as what Stan is at 67. He's probably in better shape than myself at 48.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Phenomenal.
He is definitely in better shape than me.
Yeah. Let's give you a quick little run through of the pool hall, just so everybody kind of gets a gauge as to what the hall is like. But all the seating area, this is right in between the 7-foot and 9-foot tables. So of course the bar sitting up top there, and then all of your 7-foots. There's a couple of valley tables over there. Just behind the wall, there's a couple more. And excuse the wall here, but we've got obviously some Predator gear.
Some merch.
Indeed. Sitting on the wall, and then back over to the 9-foot side of the room. And of course, look at this. Look at that beautiful Predator Pro table sitting over there, 9-foot, with the arena light. Nope, wrong way. Sorry, guys. And then the rest of the 9-foot tables, all diamonds, sitting over at this end of the room.
Yeah, and they just put in state-of-the-art sound system, and I think they're 55-inch TVs in every nook and cranny of the room.
Yeah,
they're
see if
everywhere.
I can show you a couple of those, but I don't know if we might be blocked, but there's a couple of those TVs. There's 3 there, and I think there's, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 of them in the room.
Yeah, there's some right above our head that you can't see with the camera on both sides of the divider here. They are everywhere.
Yep. And so, once again, congratulations, Stephen Holem taking down the tournament. Stan Taranjo on second place. And we got to thank you guys tuning in all weekend long, keeping us company. We certainly appreciate it. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you've gone onto our Facebook page, hit the like button.
Steven's going to throw on the Hooey jersey
Of
and
course,
do a lap.
right?
The
As
tradition.
he should. If you're on YouTube, make sure you jump and subscribe over there. Click that bell button. We'll be back here in a couple of weeks for the Fall Classic at the Leather Pocket.
Absolutely. That's going to be another fantastic tournament.
It
to tune
certainly
into.
will.
All the same monsters that were in this one are in that one too.
Yeah,
so.
you got it. Might be missing Steven, though. He may still be. Oh, no, he'll be back from Puerto Rico by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he'll be off to the Worlds.
He'll be off to the Worlds. You bet. Yeah.
So,
All right, guys. On behalf of myself, Ryan Murphy, Ben Francis, and the rest of the Q Sports Live team, we appreciate you tuning in. We will catch you back here in a couple of weeks. Rod will be live next weekend from CSL Winnipeg, I do believe. If not, we'll catch you back here in a couple of weeks. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.